That was the sound of the jar of names, which will get out a name. Got one. Right, this video is for everyone, including but not excluded to Miss Natalil. Right then, so where is my list? So this is a cup of tea and a podcast. This is the cup of tea right here. Oh, tastes a bit weird. And this is the podcast. Right then, so we said goodbye to November 2016 last week. This week we say welcome to December 2016, the last month of 2016. Next year is just around the corner. But let's get on to the update, as in the podcast. So you can head down to my skip list. It might be there, it might not be there. You can find it. It's my first comment. You can skip to this week's update, this week's topic, this week's TV time, this week's question, and this week's goals. Let's start with the update. So let's address the elephant in the room. This is sadly slightly late. It is because, unfortunately, I did say this week was going to be busy because it had the last sort of proper assignments. I say proper assignments. It was the last sort of major push, shall we say. Still got some things in for next week, but won't take long to all those ones. So sadly, unfortunately, that happened. I was spending time doing that, so I didn't get time to do any videos in the podcast or anything. To be fair, I've got 2 episodes ready to upload. They've been rendered and everything. It's just the podcast that was taking its time of getting done. But yes, that's why everything's a little bit late, unfortunately, though. But stick around for this week's goals to hear about that. That's happened. Behind break soon. Yes, soon there is going to be a break. I've got 1 week left at college, which is the week that's about to start after the next podcast. But obviously, because we're a little bit weirded out with time schedules, that's a little bit weird. But yeah, that's when we're going to go around Christmas break. Then I can do stuff. I don't know why I said break, because I usually say holiday. It's weird. I don't know why. But yeah, that's going to happen soon. So that'll be good. That means I can get more time to do stuff. Although I'm still very, very, very busy because I just give myself loads of stuff to do. Okay, and the other little thing about the next episode of Assassin's Creed 3. For some reason, the in-game audio broke and corrupted, and it was just not there. It's just that episode. Like, I had 3 separate clips I recorded, and each one of those clips had broken audio in the game. And no, the videos I did after that, they're fine. It was just that one specific episode. I don't know what happened, but it did. But yes, what I had to do is I had to do some audio recreation with it. I placed in the ambient sounds of the homestead and the New York in it, so you'll be able to still hear something. So it still sounds basically the same, pretty much, really, apart from fighting sounds and obviously that sort of bits and bobs. But every bit of the story dialogue or anything that's important like that, I managed to get back in. That took me a longer time as well to do. So I spent a long time just piecing that all together using video clips from other people and placing all of like the general little bit of story information in. It's not any big story bits. It's mainly just liberation of New York. It's just part of that. But obviously I count them as important, so I've done that. But that's happened. But that's the next episode of Assassin's Creed 3. The next one you see, it's called Bits and Bobs and Bobs and Bits. But that's that. But yeah, speaking of video games, we'll go on to this week's topic and we'll go through the names. So you're listening to the podcast of right now. That is this. So welcome to the podcast. And then later today or this evening, you shall get an Assassin's Creed 3 video, which is the broken audio one called Bits and Bobs and Bobs and Bits. I've already said that's about the liberation of New York, part of it anyway. And then hopefully later on the same day, which would be tonight or tomorrow morning, there will be the next Dishonored video called Audio Diary, because I find out there are books in the game and I contemplate whether or not I read them during the game when I find them or put them at the end of the episode. Let me know what you think. This audio diary episode, I do them as I get them. It takes a long time, but we'll come back to that in a second, so I'll put a pin on that. And then after that, probably Sunday, we'll get another episode of Assassin's Creed 3 called Home on the Sea. You can probably guess it's something to do with homestead missions and the sea missions. And then later that day as well, on Sunday, we should hopefully get the next Dishonored video, which is called either Maniacal Monocle or something to do with powers. Yes, this is the episode where I put all of the audiobooks that I read at the end, so that I play through the game and then I read all the books at the end of the episode. So if you don't want to listen to it, you don't have to. So let me know which one of those you prefer out of the 2. I think it might be the second one of the 2, where I put them at the end, because I think that's going to be more beneficial and doesn't waste anybody's time. Cool. What is next? Oh, I've actually miscounted. Yeah. But after that, probably Monday morning, or whatever on Monday, we'll have a Assassin's Creed 3 video called Good Night Biddle. It is a Templar captain we kill. It's obviously Nicholas Biddle. Pretty pretty insightful, really, isn't it? Yeah, and then I don't know when this is going to be out. Probably Monday, probably Tuesday as well, to be fair. We'll have 2 pointing episodes of Assassin's Creed. That's 2, because obviously I want to get it all done. Not sure what we're going to do yet. Maybe possibly one in the Frontier and one in the Underground Passage of Boston, I think, just to get those sorted out. Right, but that's this week's videos. We'll talk about the next podcast when that's going to happen out in the goals, but that's that. Last week's hint for the Cup of Adventure video was a remake of a Christmas video I've already done, and it was the Christmas crackers. I remade them, but I called it Christmas supplies in this because I also made the baubles, which were a bit poop. But yeah, that happened. Cool. There is no hint for this week's video because, unfortunately, the Cup of Adventure video has already been released. It was out today, actually, from when I'm recording this. Yeah, so that came out. That was slightly late, though, but only a few hours because I wanted to go to bed because my new structure of sleeping is very good. I'm going to bed really early and I'm getting really tired really early now and I'm getting up earlier as well. Although today I didn't get anything done, so it's not that great to be fair, but still, it's cool. It's been a bit of a weird day. Change of a different schedule. Anyway, that's this week's videos. We'll talk about the rest of them next week when we get to the next podcast. But now we're going to go on to TV time. What TV things have I watched? I've actually managed to catch up on some TV stuff this week because I just sort of listen to it while I'm doing essays and stuff, so I've sort of been able to do it. I caught up with Walking Dead. Walking Dead, I actually quite like this season of Walking Dead. Apparently the ratings are down. I quite like it. I love Negan as a character. And I love the whole sort of like psychological thriller that he is as Negan, the character, which I think is quite good, and I'm really enjoying that. Star Wars Rebels. Oh, Star Wars Rebels is just amazing. I'm loving it. It's just fantastic. I've been watching a lot of Star Wars theory videos recently because I'm preparing myself for Rogue One, and I love it. I just love how sort of in-depth it is. Another film I've actually watched, which was going to be this week's question, but it's not anymore. I've watched James Cameron's Avatar again because I felt like watching it because I saw some Christmas lights that were blue on a tree and it reminded me of it, and I was like, oh, I want to watch it. So I watched it. I actually went back and played the game because the game, I actually really enjoyed the game. It's made by Ubisoft, so that's probably why I like it. What was I going to say? Yeah, that's actually the first game I actually platinumed, that Avatar game. But I was going to ask about if you were looking forward to like the other Avatar games because I just love the lore and everything, the history of the world, and like they just explore. It's like you go in there exploring this new planet, which is great, and I love that sort of stuff. But I was going to ask you if you were enjoying it as well, but I feel like that's a bit of a poop question, so I changed it to something else, which we'll find out later. What else to talk about of a scene? Planet Earth 2, that is just so good. A little fun fact, this is the sort of thing I would like to make when I'm older. This is what I'm sort of like, I'm planning to be like a producer of something like this, because I love it. Maybe even like a history drama. I like history dramas as well. But yeah, that's that. Cool. Let's go on now to the community section then. We'll go on to Mention Monday, the fabled Mention Monday, and we'll go through the names. So, we've got a few names this week. We've got Horia, Max Ravage, Spudley Dudley, 40k Warrior Man, Dragonlord 55511, Nick Pro, and EPA Sorkin. So yeah, thank you all for commenting. It is a joy to see you all here, and I look forward to seeing your comments next week. Cool. Let's go on now to the Q&A. We have 2 questions this week. We have one from Horia, and it is Name That Movie. A clone with psychic powers kidnaps a bunch of children and teenagers in hopes to create more clones. Right, I feel like my answer for this one is not... I feel like this was a bit out of the box, but I think it's actually right. I'm going to say Pokemon the first movie, because the clone is the Mewtwo, he's got the psychic powers, and he kidnaps Ash Ketchum and that, and they're obviously very young, and obviously they want to make more clones of Pokemon. So that's what I'm going to say, and I actually think that's right, but I think it's a bit out of the box. Anyway, next question from DragonLord55511, who says, Hello Sir JD262, I have a question and a riddle for you. Question, what is one of your favourite traditional British snack foods? British snack food. It's weird for me because British snack foods to me is just snack food. I don't know actually. I can't actually think of any British snack foods. Do you guys know? I don't know what's British anymore. I like wagon wheels. Wagon wheels are cool. No, it's got to be a biscuit. It's got to be biscuits. I'm quite partial to a because my mother's have recently made some biscuits. She's made some custard creams and some chocolate bourbons. I actually really enjoy the chocolate bourbons at the moment. Good British biscuit, I think. I don't know if they are British, but I like them. And the riddle is, I only come out when I see lights. My colour is opposite of white. Mostly you do not realise that I am with you. If you leave me, I will keep following you. I will always copy what you do. You cannot touch me, and I cannot touch you. What am I? Don't even need to read the hint, because I think it's a shadow, but I'm going to read the hint just to make sure. Hint, it is a name of one of the characters from Sonic the Hedgehog, who is his rival. If you've not put something in here, which you could have put in, then I will have to have... Well, I'll have to bring it up. It is also the thing that happens when sunlight hits a personal object and sees the darkness that is behind it. You have not said it. You could have said the name of my horse. It's Shadow. I think it's Shadow anyway. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, you could have said about my horse as well. My horse is called Shadow. So it was good that. I got it straight away. Okay then, right. Q&A. It is now subscribers. Last week we had 1,247. We have gone up 2 names this week to 1,249. And we welcome 4 new people to the community. We welcome Shravya Naidu, Julio Vigoras, HPK Drone, and Mandy Lee. So welcome to the community. If you have a favourite type of horse, let me know. Zebras count as well. Okay then, let's go on to the question. So last week's question was, what videos do you want me to include in the Q1 of next year and Cup of Adventure? Because that was my mini goal this week, was to write them up. Horia said, make Rocky Road cake or on Cup of Adventure. Yes, this was written down in my doodad, which was my subscriber suggestion list. And I was going to do this sometime next year at least. I don't know when I was going to do it. I've actually got a little structure for my baking and cooking videos, like I alternate between cooking and baking and bread and cakes and stuff. Rocky Road was not actually supposed to be in Q1, but what I've done is I've changed it around, so I probably will be making Rocky Road at some point within the next 3 months after December. But some other bits that have gone on with this fact is I haven't finished planning it all. I've planned out some bits and bobs. Oh, actually, this is very topical. I've actually planned out all of January. That's fine. February, I've got... Well, I'm probably going to do the Rocky Road in February, to be fair. That's about it I've got in there. I know there's a Valentine's Day, and I know there's Pancake Day or some bits, and so I might do something to do with that. March, I've got Mothering Sunday on the end of the month, and I've got some other bits and bobs as well. But the question for this week's question, is actually related to the March videos. In March, there are 2 specific dates, but they sort of fall on the roughly the same week, so I change it my upload day to that day to sort of celebrate that day, if that makes sense. The 2 days I've got in question here are, I already said Star Wars, but it's not Star Wars. Where is it? This week's question. There we go. Yeah. One of them is St. Patrick's Day, which is obviously the day we're supposed to wear green. And the other one is the spring equinox. Basically, which day do you want me to celebrate for Cup of Adventure? Like, I'll make a video about one of those days. I've got something in mind for the spring equinox. That'd be something that I could do. I'm not really sure what I could do for St. Patrick's Day, but if you want me to do that, then I'll probably do something to do with that. I'll figure it out. But obviously, let me know which one you think. I'm leaning more towards spring equinox because I know what I could do for that. But I'm not sure. It's up to you as well. It's this week's question, so answer away. This week's question. No, this week's comment. This week's comment indeed. This week's comment goes to Horia on a Dishonored video. It was the first one or the second one? The second one it was. And the bit that I wanted to get from is it says, oh, and if you don't want to kill anyone, don't throw unconscious people into water. Yeah, because I threw unconscious people into water and it affected my kill count because I didn't realise they needed to be cleansed. They were dirty. They needed a bath. But yeah. But anyway, I did reload Dishonored and do it again. Swear I didn't do that, and I won't be doing that from now on. Because I'm going to do a no kill playthrough because I feel like that's what I'm going to be doing. Because that feels like more me, and I feel like that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, that's why this week's comment, because it was quite funny when I read it. Because I was like, duh, I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, let's go now on to this week's goals. Yes. So last week's goals was to do the Q4 for this year. Finish those video planning. I have not, because of the college work, and it was also to plan out next quarter's videos as well. Just plan it out, so it was an easy one. I did not do that either, but I did do it 50%, so I kind of did it 50-50. But like I said, this week was busy, and I did forewarn you it was going to be busy. Okay then, but this week's goal is to catch up all of these videos by Tuesday or Wednesday. Should happen by Tuesday if everything goes to plan. Like I said, I've got 2 videos to upload already, so that's good. I just need to make sure the rest of them are ready and ready rolling to go. But that's that. Okay then, outro now. That was pretty good. How long is this? It feels like a long one. Meh. It's been longer before. Right, let's finish this cup of tea then. Oh, that's good. Right, so last week's what film? It was Pirates of the Caribbean. Spudley Dudley got it right. Or should I call you Super Dudley? Because apparently that's what I said last week. Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, so I guess I'll now say until the next time we meet, farewell. Hopefully we'll catch up with the video soon. Sorry about the delay. But it's been a busy week. Hopefully everything should be back to normal soonish. And I'll leave you with what film? Make sure you've had a poo and a wee before you go on.